Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So as we were discussing, please see that you have always been there. The word there is just to complete a grammatical sentence. You have always been. Please see this fact. It is not. So what happens is that when something is said to you, you immediately said, that's not true. What's not true? Why do you doubt it? Well, at one time I was not there. And our experience is that one day I will not be there. Who said that? How do you know you were not there? In order to know that you are not there, you would have to be witness to that. That I wasn't, I am going. I am, 1 minute I am here, and 1 minute I am not there. Who said that? Well, my mother tells me that I was born on this time. Yes. Your mother is right, but she's talking about you as a baby. She's not talking about you as the Atma. So you cannot believe your mom or the doctor or the father because they don't know what they're talking about. Atma is not something like a table. Swami Akhandananda makes a very interesting. He said, this is the thing, if you read his books, you will see his biography of how he himself searched for the truth incessantly, and it was not easy. Despite of the fact that he was considered a Vedantin by many people, and he says even then I had not found myself as it was. Then he did. And then he had a long period of talking to people, similarly to this class, hundreds, thousands of people who are very well meaning. In India, they know the subject matter and they discussed it. And so when you read his books, all of that experience of dealing with simple, ordinary people who are well-meaning and desirous, they are willing to learn and so on, all comes up. And the same thing happens. What I'm just telling you is what he also would, if he was sitting here, he would have a similar conversation with you. He would say, you've always been there. And you would ask him, but Swamiji, my mother tells me that I was not there. In one of the books he says, let me tell you something. Do you think your mother is as well read as I am? That they'll say no, she is not. Does she know as much as I do? No, she really doesn't. Is she as seemingly wise as you are? No. Then why do you believe her and not me? Mm-hmm. When I'm telling you, you were not born, and you are, this is very interesting, this is wonderful, beautiful. I'm just bringing out different points of it. He said, our mind is a very interesting characteristic. Characteristic is not the word, it's a very interesting thing, let's just say thing. I hesitate to call it a vastu because a vastu really refers only to the real Atma. So, entity, some kind of something is there called the mind, my thoughts. Swami Vivekananda says, this is very interesting. First of all, the mind doesn't know what it's talking about. Because the mind is saying, I'm this such and such, and my name is this. Mind means your entire jivatvam, expressed in the form of thoughts. So the mind says, I'm such and such, I'm a jiva, I'm doing this, and so on. Fine, it doesn't know. Secondly, not only does it not know, it's a liar. It is lying through its teeth. In your life, if you knew somebody is a liar, how would you deal with that person? How would you deal with that person? You won't deal with him. Let alone go along with him. If you know that the person is a thief, a criminal and a robber, will you ever keep its company? So, it's very possible that if there is a person who is a recognized thief and a robber, then nobody will, except for his own family or whatever it is, nobody will go with it. But supposing it's a person that doesn't know what is happening. It is just lost in itself. Will we ever follow it? But we know what happens. Not only is our mind full of ignorance, it's a liar. And we follow it. Whatever our mind says, we say, okay, Baba, theek hai. It's all right, let's do it. Let's have some sweets. This just happened a couple of days ago. So one of our friends who's from the Sikh family, she's a Sardarani, and she makes very good halwa. And we had not seen her for a long time the other day. This just happened when we were traveling on Friday, this last Friday, that we had this. So this was a big celebration of my mom's, my wife's mom, 97th birthday, and so everybody has been going around celebrating. And so there was a big chocolate cake from that. That was, I left the lunch early to complete my notes and so on. So, but my wife brought a cake for me. And then this Sardarni lady came up and said, I just made some kala prasad and I brought it for you. So what to do now? After dinner, there are two of these sweets. If I get very insulted if I don't eat my mother-in-law's cake, so I have to eat that. And this lady who we had not seen for like 4 years, and she made this. We should never ask for the recipe. We should have a big mistake. She said, oh, it's very simple. You make 1 cup of atta and 1 cup of ghee and 1 cup of sugar. And really, I mean, she was right, because you could see it. So my mind said, let's go for it. This is good. Fortunately, I know my mind now. I know how it lies. Doesn't know what it's talking about. But I ate it. But it was with I'm a diabetic. Should I be even a little bit? You have no idea how much sweets I ate that day. But you know what? This is all I cannot insult my wife, because she'll say, this is my mother's cake and you're not eating it. And I cannot insult Radesh, who said, I brought this kala prasad and you're not eating it. But what happens is that normally, that's the other thing. Sometimes we will not eat our own dessert. But if a dessert is free of cost, something funny happens. I tell you, I don't know how that happens. Something is free. So your mind says, you are stupid if you don't eat it. Because it's free. You're not paying for it, just go ahead for it. Then you'll say, okay, that's a good point. You follow it. Swami Vivekananda says, this is our issue. Our problem is that we believe the liars and we don't believe people who are telling us the truth. You believe your mom, who said, you were not there until I gave birth to you. You believe her. She doesn't know what she's talking about. No one knows what they're talking about, but you believe them. But if I come around and tell you the truth that is very obvious, which is, can you please prove to me that you cannot be there? Can you prove it to me? Prove it to me. I tell you, in this 1 week of classes, if you go back with two simple things, very simple things, we'll not talk about Mandukya Upanishad and Taittiriya and Bhagavad Gita and Brahma Sutra. Forget about them. We're not going to study it. Just think about two things, and just remember it. I would say this whole effort would be very, very successful. What are the two things? One is what I told you already. Anything that you voluntarily give up will give you sukha. Just remember this. Anything that you willingly give up is a very beautiful thing. And we will build on that. We will talk more about it. I'm just giving you the formula. You should know the formula of life. And if you don't know the formula of life, you know what happens? You say, I've been studying Vedanta, but I don't know how to apply it. This is what happens, as I was saying earlier. So please know the two simple formulas. And see it in action for yourself. This is one. Okay, are you ready for the second one? Okay. Please see this for a fact. Out of all possibilities in the whole creation, how many possibilities are there? How many things are there? Amazing. Artificial intelligence, software, going to the moon. So much is going on. Mind-boggling. Possibilities, knowledges, experiences, whatever you can say. This is what comprises the whole life. Out of all of them, the only thing which you cannot ever eliminate, never possibly remove, is yourself. And so this self is not to be proven. It is not to be discovered. It is not to be learned. It is not something that needs to be manufactured. It doesn't need to be discovered. And it cannot be eliminated. Because it is independent. Because it is self-existing. Thank you. Ascharyavat Pashyati Eno. This is Ascharya. This is unbelievable. You cannot imagine. Nobody knows this until this simple thing is pointed out. So I was saying that, in the case of the example that I gave about my grandson, that this, if you tell Arjun, baby, where is the nose? You'll feel very happy he can, out of all the pictures, and say, this is nose. It's not done yet. He will be done when he is told, this is the nose. But that nose, this nose, is also a object that can go away. Because it belongs to the body, and the body will go away. But you are not made out of something that can go away. In fact, you cannot go away. In fact, your evaluation of yourself consists of two factors. Your evaluation of yourself has two segments, two aspects. One is knowledge, and the other one is speculation, philosophy. Think about it this way. Your self-evaluation means your idea about who you are. That's what I mean by evaluation. It's not like an exam or anything like that, but just your idea of who I am. This idea of who you are consists of two factors. One is knowledge, and the other one is speculation, philosophy. Yeah, let's use the word philosophy. That's a good word. You are a mixture of knowledge and philosophy. So here's what we are telling you, and we'll have to prove this, but you should see this right away. This is one of those things. So I was telling you, these are the only two things that I want you to retain from this series of classes. Just these two things. First one is that whatever you can give up willingly will give you sukha, ananda. It's a source of it. This is not a formula which is yet to be proven, which is subject to verification, which has a difference between the West and the East. It doesn't matter. This is a fundamental, universal formula. See this for yourself. It's just that you already know it, but you didn't know it. You didn't know that it works. But now you see that any time you willingly give up something, it is a source of sukha. This is the first thing. Let's continue on the second one. You are a mixture of knowledge and philosophy, speculation. So what is your knowledge and what is your speculation? What is the difference between knowledge and philosophy? Now let me ask you something. Do you know you are a woman or a man? Or is this a philosophy? This is knowledge. This is not philosophy. That I am a man or a woman is knowledge. It is not philosophy. Then what is the philosophy? That I was born 60 years ago is a philosophy. It is not knowledge. That you are is knowledge. Can you ever disprove it? If you are a woman, actually I shouldn't say that with all these sex changes these days, I have no idea what's going on about all these kinds of gender changes. It's just mind-boggling. So forget about that. Let's talk about normal things. If you're born a woman, can anybody say you are not a woman? If you're born a man, you cannot disprove it. Similarly, just think about that. I am. Does this need to be proven? Are you going to wait for anyone to tell you that? Furthermore, can you ever disprove it? Try disproving it. I am not. I am not. You know, oh my God, it's mind-boggling. So these Buddhism, whole Buddhism, just goes to prove how much you can accomplish and do by not knowing what's going on. This whole Buddhistic philosophy is so bunkum, it is unbelievable. But you know something? It is more popular than Hinduism. The more people, one of the ladies was telling me that her son is and this is not, I've heard these stories over and over again. Because you know what, you get some peace by doing meditation and all of this. So you can't blame it. You cannot blame anybody. It's okay, that's fine. But it has no truth to it. You know what they eventually say? They say everything is dukkham, dukkham, dukkham. But if you just eliminate all the thoughts and just be with yourself, you'll be okay. Okay, fine. So who are you that you left with yourself? There's nothing left. It's all shunya. So we say, who knows it is shunya? How can you tell you are shunya? Oh no, you are shunya. You are shunya. You will know when you reach that stage of they have these 7 or 8 nirvana. I was reading this as one of Swami. This is all from Swami Akhandananda. Please don't believe me. I also just learned from the energy also. That they have these stages of nirvana. So the stages of nirvana means, I don't know, Mahanirvana, and by the way, Jains have the same thing. Okay? Mahanirvana and Mahanirvana. Swami Khandananda says, how many zeros can you have? If you are zero, you cannot say double zero. There is no such thing as a triple zero. So how can you tell you are zero? Shunya means zero, nothing. How can you prove that you are? Oh, no, we know it. Who knows it? So there's some people have done it, so then they can tell I am zero. So the person who says I'm zero, is he aware or not? Yes, of course you have to be aware. But that's what we're talking about. That awareness you cannot eliminate. You cannot eliminate that awareness. Never. So please, going back to the saying, you are a combination of knowledge and philosophy. That you are is knowledge. No, I don't know if I am or not. I am, this is interesting, let's look at it this way. That you are is knowledge. That you are a woman is speculation. Is philosophy. And we'll go into a lot into this later on, but I'm just giving you some ideas on all that. Anyway, if you please remember one thing, I won't go this. There's a lot to be talked about in terms of how can we say that being a woman is, first of all, you told me it was knowledge. Now you're telling me it is philosophy. So we'll have to resolve some issues on that. But just to summarize, if you can just remember one thing. You are someone that cannot be disproved by anything, not even by Ishvara. You cannot even pray. You can pray to Dakshinamurti in different ways. You can say, my daughter, I hope she finds a good husband. Please help her. You can pray anything about yourselves, your health, etc. And you can ask Dakshinamurti, can you give me everything? Anything I ask for? He says, yeah, I think I can. This is what I'm known for. I know everything. Okay. Can you make me not to be? He'll say, I'm sorry, I cannot do that. I cannot do that. You cannot, no one. You know why you cannot do that? Because that is Ishvara. Atma is actually nothing but this. So you're saying, are you trying to kill me or what? No. It is just a very simple thing. See the profundity of this. This is not an ordinary stuff. That I am is the truth, and now we will embellish the truth with things that you may choose to think about. But the fact that you were born and you may die and stuff like that is not true. There's no truth to it, because you are someone who does not need any explanation. Anyway, so we'll talk more about it. So going back to this, to the basics, which I still have so much to do. So basically, what I was saying earlier is that the Vedas have always been there. This is the knowledge of the whole cosmos. And as I mentioned yesterday, that it is Aparushaya. And Sanjay here sitting there was absolutely right. That the word Aparushaya means what? It is not created. That's the meaning of the word Aparushaya. It is not that it is not created by human beings, so that it is created by Ishvara. That's not the meaning of it. It is not created. It is. The Vedas are. In fact, the mantras of the Vedas have always been there. Om Namah Shivaya. It is not created. It is part of the Vedas. Anything which is part of the Shruti. Shruti means the entire Vedanta, the entire Vedas, has always been there, always will be. And then, so what happens is, now go to the next stage of this. How is it expressed and how do we know about it? If it is always there, somebody must have started to explain and to talk about it and so on. How did that happen? That you can say does happen. So, look at it this way. Swami Viditatmananda also, I think, 15-20 years ago, had given this example. If you look at the ether, the Akasha at this point, do you know how many television and radio station, electronic things are going on at this time? Especially if we are especially if you go to New York, Manhattan, close to here. Unbelievable. So many FM, AM, and amateur radios, and police, and military, and so on. But can you see it? Can you feel it? Do you know about it? No. It looks like it's not there. So then what happens? What happens is that if you have an equipment which is fine-tuned to the frequency of the particular channel that you are interested in, it expresses, the unknown becomes known. And you now have a wonderful FM song. And the only time now I listen to the radio, in fact even the TV, both of them, is really sports. That's it. Really, that's the honest truth. I don't look a minute of TV, a minute of radio, except it is for wonderful. I'm very happy that our Warriors won last night. You know what happened to me? Because I'm a great fan of, I really enjoy that. And now that my sons and grandsons, we all talk a lot. Yesterday I saw the score it was very dicey. The seventh last game they were losing. And so by the time I think I went to bed, it was at about third quarter. And they were ahead by 7 points at that point. But I said, you know what, I'm going to go to sleep. Then, in the middle of the night, I usually get up at least once to go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom, and when I came back, I said, I better check the score before I go back to sleep.
Sanjeev did the same thing.
Huh? Really?
Sanjeev did the same thing.
Okay.
Twice he woke up.
This is what happens.
You
bring your wife and she tells you all your secrets.
That's why we are separated.
Don't do that for now. So I was wondering whether I should leave or not. I said, what if they
I was hoping other way.
Okay,
Because I've got...
So anyway, I was very happy that they won, and so I had a nice sleep after that.
I know.
So, who expresses all that is going on? How does it happen? So you need to have a mechanism that tunes into what is obvious but not known. So think of the Vedas, mantras. Today, the mantras are anadi. It's not like the Om Namah Shivaya was discovered one day by somebody. No. It always has been there, just like channels of FM and AM that are in the air, always there. But what happens is, the human beings that have fine-tuned their minds to such a degree, when they take birth, because when they take birth means that they've always been there like you and I, but when they take a new birth, and the birth has to be gone through with the mother and father and so on. There's nothing that's always normal. But when they grow up, their minds are so fine-tuned because of their previous births that their minds can discover the truth of the Vedanta. These are called rishis. Rishayanti iti rishis. So the rishis, and very few rishis, there are not too many rishis. This is a very rare kind of a thing. Okay? So you heard of rishis and munis. Rishi Muni. Who is a rishi and what is a muni? We should see this. Muni is the one who is told by somebody what the truth is, and then understands it and can communicate. So this is where smritis come to the thing. So the smritis can be created. These are human. Smritis can be all human. So Swami Akhandananda actually points out that Vyasa played two roles. He was both a rishi as well as a muni. So he is the author of the Vedas because it just appeared to him that this is what's going on. And he expressed it. And then he was able to relate to the society and create a story of Bhagavad Gita and the Mahabharata, etc. from time to time. And so that was the smriti of it. So the munis, there are a lot of, so munis are called Mananashila. Mananashila means the one who are able to think properly. So the munis are people who are good thinkers. But rishis are the one who discover the truths of the Vedas. And the Vedas have always been there. Why? Because it is the very expression of Ishvara. But this is what you should see the picture. And in you and I have always been there, in one form or the other. But in some incarnation of this life, we begin to think. And God knows when we will see the same vision as the rishis. It will happen. Not this life, but it will happen very, very, very soon. So this is what needs to be. And the end point of this is the end point of the basic formula that Swami Akhandananda pointed out. The basic formula is, if you give up something, you'll be happy. If you give up money willingly, you'll be very happy. If you give up the dependency on your children, you'll be very happy. If you give up the whole world, you'll be the happiest. So what we need to do is to understand, I don't need the world. Right now, I feel I need the world. And that's okay for you for the time being. But the real discovery, which is the end point of this is what life is all about, is to discover you don't need the world to be. In fact, you will be the happiest. Vairagya, the end point of Vairagya, which is the ultimate viveka of Nitya and Anitya, is to understand I don't need the world. As a jiva I may need it, but as a sakshi, as an atma, I am Swatasiddha, Swayam Jyoti. I don't need it. I am fine. This is what the real Vastu is that you should see. That is when you will see this is the nose, not this is the nose. This is me. This is what we have to do. We should be very clear about what we need to do. Reading books and going to temples and meditating is all the exercises that are secondary. Atma Vichara. Who am I? If I am not pleasant, if I am not self-sufficient, then I don't need to do Atma Vichara. But that's not the case. Yeah, we can expand on what we were talking about earlier, which is that I am. Nobody needs to tell me that I am. This is what is called Satsvarupoham. Aham Satsvarupa. What is Sat? The honestly. Just an amazing. This is when I read Arsha, it just makes me think I understand the word Arsha so wonderfully. Just look at this. So, what is Sat? In fact, this is going to come. I'm jumping ahead. But since I'm on the topic, I might as well finish it again. What is Sat? How would you define Sat? And how do you define Asat? Sat means one which can never not be. Under any circumstances is called Sat. Isn't it? And Asat is just the opposite. It cannot possibly be. It's not possible. So the simple example of the Asat is a square circle. It's an oxymoron. There is no such thing as a square circle. You're either a circle or a square. You cannot say, I want to invent something new, which is a square circle. You can't do it. So the Asat is very clear. What is Sat? Sat should be defined. It should be defined. It is defined and it should be defined. That is the proper thing. One which can never not be. Under any circumstances. That is the definition of Sat. Satyam means the quality of being Sat. Truthfulness is called Satyam. Truth is called Sat. So it's one and the same. So this is Sat. So our only question is, okay, I see the definition, but we don't see anything in the world which fulfills Sat. Is there? You cannot define anything. You cannot find anything. Maybe we'll find it in a different galaxy. No. You cannot find Sat anywhere except you are the Sat. You are the only Sat. You cannot not be. This is an amazing fact. This is Ascharyavat Pashyati. You are the only Sat in the whole creation. And the only issue is, you don't believe it. We are telling you, you are the only Sat, and you say, who? Are you talking about me? Yeah, I'm talking about you. No, you must be about, because I am not Sat. I've got problems. You are the only Sat. Each one of us is a Sat. There's only one Sat, one Atma. So the Atma is Sat Swarupa. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. Where time flies. Hey guys, I have 35 pages of notes, so we are on page number 3. Are you okay for staying for the second week? Please call your offices and say, cancel. We haven't finished our. So I don't know, I'm taking out things from when I was going through this notes, writing it. I think I'll do one more thing before we go further. Okay, so we were talking about Vedas, the Shastra, what is called Shastra. So the word Shastra is also a very interesting one. The word Shastra, which means the very body of the Vedas. You can call it Sanatana Dharma or whatever, but the Shastra has two aspects to it. What is called Shasanam and Samshanam. This I learned from Swami Akhandananda. And then you can also see it in Bhagavad Gita also, in one form or the other. Here on the third chapter, the third verse of the third chapter, it says, Lokesmin vividha nishtha pura prokta mayanaga jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. Basically, this is exactly what is pointed out. That Shastra has two aspects to it. Shasanam and Shamsanam. Sashanam means instructions to be followed. And if you are a karma yoga, if you are a karma yoga, we will talk a lot about karma yoga. Then you follow the aspect of Shastra which is Shasanam. So if you ask somebody, what should I do? What am I supposed to do in my life? How do I make progress? Okay, glad you asked. Here's what it is. This is called Shasana. Then there is a separate aspect of the Bhagavad, of Shastra, which is called Shansana. Shansana means knowledge. Not what you have to do, but what you have to know. This is called Shansana. So this is what it says, Lokesmin vividha nishtha pura prokta mayanaga. Pura prokta means what? Means he's been known forever. I didn't discover it. This is Ishvara talking about it. Means that it always has been. It's a way of saying it always has been. Jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. It's not quite the same thing, but it's very close to define the two different forms of Shastra. I think we are out of time, so we will have to meet again and continue. Oh.